Yes,
Alim
sir.
the Dream, Alim the Machine.
Starts the interior defensive lineman.
Yeah.
It starts from heavyweights, okay?
Them big boys.
It's just true.
That girth.
That girth.
Colts media, Colts reporters were saying, wow, who the hell is that guy? Who is 54 right now? He's making plays.
Yep.
He looks strong. He's making these guys look like little boys.
Dan Campbell calls him the strongest pound-for-pound player on the team. Alim McNeill. Then he goes on to call him Twinkle Toes.
If Alim fills that hole
Oh, yeah.
where Jonathan Taylor is supposed to be running the ball, Malcolm can scream in there and fill that hole. And then you got nowhere to go. You got nowhere to run the ball. You need the big boys to fill those holes. We got to talk about my boy. My boy, the guy who I said...
Lick the toe.
The lick the toe, no. Oh, I forgot to tell you because I had to pee.
That's
I'll
okay.
tell you next break. But the most important player I said on this Lions defense this year is
sir.
Alim McNeill.
Yes,
Alim
sir.
the Dream, Alim the Machine. This guy, Ali, yeah, as Justin said, Ali McNeill. But this guy, like I said, will start everything for this defense. He'll go in there. If he can create pressure from up the middle, take the quarterback off their spot, make the edge rushers easier to get to him. If he can't step up in the pocket, if he can't stand flat-footed, sorry, I got feet on the mind.
I got you, dog.
If he can't stand flat-footed, it makes it easier for the edge rushers to come off to the edge and get him while he's trying to break out of the pocket. It makes it easier for these cornerbacks to stay attached to these receivers because they don't have to guard them
Yes,
for
sir.
4, 5, 6 seconds. And we have some reports about Alim McNeill. If you wouldn't mind throwing those up, young Sestifer.
Yes.
From joint practice.
From joint practice from the Colts. As you guys know, the Lions are in Indy this week. Joint practice with the Colts. And no, that's the other one.
Oh, sorry.
You're good.
My
You
apologies.
fucking idiot. No, I'm just kidding.
Here it is. We
can't do
have
anything
from
right.
Jeff Risden. Jeff Risden, I'm sorry if I butchered your name. He says Alim McNeill draws raves in joint practice with the Colts. In his practice notes at SI.com, Arthur wrote about McNeill. McNeill looked incredibly powerful, backing Colts blockers into their own zone throughout the one-on-ones. Nate Atkins of the Indy Star noted his success of the interior defense, which consistently bottled up Jonathan Taylor, the NFL's leading rusher in 2021. The downside to the Colts offense Wednesday came up front. The Lions challenged them most on the interior as rush lanes swallowed up quickly for Jonathan Taylor. And that is one thing that he mentioned. We, as Detroit media, Detroit fans, knew what Alim McNeill did last year. We expected him to get better in this new system that Aaron Glenn is presenting to this defense.
Yes.
But Colts beat writers, Colts media, Colts reporters were saying, wow, this 54 guy is a menace. He is out there bottling up Jonathan Taylor. He is out there making our Pro Bowl guard look stupid. The guy is a beast. This is why we drafted him. This is what we expected out of him when he was brought here. So if this guy can do this to a high level for this Lions defense, it will just make everything easier for the rest of the team. And I expect that out of him. I expect him to thrive in this new Aaron Glenn system, to attack, to go in there, be nasty, be that big ugly up the middle, clog some holes, make some plays, and cause havoc for the opposing offense.
100%. I knew. I never really know with defensive linemen, honestly, what they're going to be. You kind of have some hopes. I mean, Dominic Sue was a guy you drafted number 2 overall. You knew he was going to be a monster. But Alim McNeill, when he was drafted, I was really unsure. Matter of fact, it was back-to-back defensive tackles in that draft. It took Levi Onwuzurike and then Alim McNeill. I was pissed about it at first. Because I was like, what? Like, what? Like, 100%. But, come to find out later on, the Philadelphia Eagles wanted Alim McNeill as well. And they even had video footage of their, what do you call it? The locker room? I don't even know how you call it. I forgot the name at the top of my head. Whatever you call it, the war room. There you go. I apologize.
Oh, yeah.
The Philadelphia Eagles war room is losing their shit after the Detroit Lions moved up ahead of them to snipe Alim McNeill. And I was like, damn, he's probably something nice. Next year goes on. He obviously ranks, top of the line for defensive interior lineman in PFF rankings. But the following year, Dan Campbell calls him the strongest pound-for-pound player on the team, Alim McNeill. Then he goes on to call him Twinkle Toes.
Alim the Dream, man.
And he goes to call him a Dancing Bear. It means he's agile, he's nimble. And not only that, this guy's a former outfielder. I don't know if you know that, but Alim McNeill. Like, it's an athletic dude.
Yeah.
And he's built stocky and stout. But that's what you need for a guy like that, nose tackle guy. Again, like you said, just to fill his gap and cause ruckus. We said in the beginning of 2 weeks ago, we may have even been on our own channel at this point, but we were like, which player do you need on this defense to step out for the entire defense to be better? It starts with the interior defensive lineman.
Yeah.
It starts with them heavyweights, okay?
Them big boys.
It's just true.
That girth.
You know what I'm saying? You cause chaos in there. You command a double team. And like you said, it allows Aiden Hutchinson a one-on-one matchup to prove why he was the number 2 overall pick. It allows Charles Harris to prove why he got re-signed in that deal and had that 7.5 sacks last year. And I'm sick and tired of saying it. I'm sick of hearing myself say it. But again, the best Detroit Lions defense we ever seen revolved around that same aspect, having the dominant interior defenseman, Alim McNeill. Shout out to Justice Atlantic in the chat. 100%. I love to see it. That's the guy. Again, you and I asked each other, who do we think is going to be the guy to make this defense go?
Yeah.
And you have guys that you like, and Amani Warrior. We have Aiden Hutchinson, who's looking like a savage at this point. We have our guy, Malcolm Rodriguez, Quadzilla. Grande Papi. And we still with Alim McNeill, and he's performing to that point. And not just in practice where it's like, you know those guys, every move, Frank Ragnar, those guys, like, you know what they're going to do, so you can't beat them certain reps. This is the Colts joint practice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That defense looking good today, too. We're going to get to that a little bit later. But
yeah, we are going to get into that later. The defense made a huge improvement from yesterday, all being reported. But, like, to your point, that's what this guy has to do. How many times did we see last year these quarterbacks standing there flat-footed in the pocket, checking down every single read they have and going back? They had all day. We got no pressure on the quarterback, especially up the middle. And when you get pressure up the middle, that means the quarterback, first of all, can't step up in that pocket to make a throw, or if the edge rusher is screaming off the edge, he can't step up in the pocket to avoid it, and he has to step up. If that pocket breaks down, he has to step back or break to the side, which makes it easier for an Aiden Hutchinson, for a Charles Harris, for a Romeo or Julian Okwara when they're back to clean up those sacks.
For Malcolm now, too. We've seen his instincts and how quick he is.
Yeah, and instincts, exactly. If Alim fills that hole, where Jonathan Taylor is supposed to be running the ball, there's only one more place he can go, that other A-hole up the middle. Pause. That other A-gap up the middle. Malcolm can scream in there and fill that hole. And then you got nowhere to go. You got nowhere to run the ball. Come on, man. So I'm expecting him.
Come on.
What are you doing? It's not that kind of a-hole. But we're talking about a guy that, like you said, the Eagles were frustrated we got him ahead of him. This guy is supposed to be a man beater, a world ender in the middle of that defensive line. A guy you fear, a Ndamukong Suh, a Nick Fairley, a guy in there causing havoc, so the running back's scared to go up the middle. So the quarterback is scared to stand flat-footed in the pocket because you got this dancing bear coming at you at all times. So I love it. I love to hear it from the opposition. Like we said, there were Colts beat reporters saying, who the hell is that guy? Who is 54 right now? He's making plays. He looks strong. He's making these guys look like little boys. So I'm very excited for it. I love Alim McNeill. I love his attitude towards the game, what he provides for the Lions on the field, and I think Aaron Glenn will bring the best out of him this year. I want to see. The sack number is not big for me. I want to say like 4. I would be extremely happy. 4.5, 5.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing, right? With Alim McNeill is like, I don't need him to have the numbers.
You're not worried about the sack.
I'm not worried about the sack numbers. I'm really not, though. I just command a double team. That's what I need you to do. Make it easier for the guys who get paid to sack the quarterback. Yeah, you would like any type of defensive lineman to get sacked for you, but that's not. I want him for chaos. That's what I need him for. I need him for those QB pressures. I need him for those QB hurries. You know what I'm saying? That's what you want out of a defensive tackle. We're heavyweights, dog. We know.
We've seen it. We're down there. We've been in the trenches.
Sometimes you just got to feel that a-hole. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you need. We talked about it yesterday with Amani Warrior a little bit there. He's like, a warrior. Sometimes some stats don't exist on paper. You know what I'm saying? You could have a great play as Alim McNeill and not have a tackle or TFL to show for it.
Yeah. you need the big boys to fill those holes. And if you need some big boy in your life, you can hit me up.